Oh, fella. Oh, fella. You giving that.
Thank you, sir.
Because I had a list of questions to ask the community.
This mine?
Yes.
Oh, I'm ready to
I
say,
thought
how
you
you get it?
asked me.
Oh, no, I get it.
I started eating on it though. I licked every piece of fruit.
I hope you brush your teeth this
I
morning.
did.
Clap. You got the motion?
Okay, thank Huh?
You gonna make the motion, right?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, we got six.
You got 6? All right, Secretary Perkins.
She coming.
Mr. Jones, you got this presentation.
She had already did it.
Oh, so you, okay.
So, there's a change in the center of the, we're going for those, because we're,
Pull Ms. Perkins. Oh, here she is.
so everybody really knows. But we're going to skip that.
Oh, when everybody started laughing.
Okay.
We're not even going to do it. Just say,
That was so funny
Okay.
to me.
Where's my pen?
Y'all may see me pausing.
Okay, everybody ready?
Did you sign?
Secretary Perkins. Okay, I would like to call the special board meeting back to order. The time is now 6:39 p.m. Do any board members have any comments before we adjourn?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir. Treasurer Luna?
I just want to make sure that we were going to come out here and
Make that motion.
Yeah, I'm getting,
Testing.
No, we gotta open.
You got to do his,
I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready.
He didn't open.
Yeah, he got to get in the meeting before he can make the motion.
The regular board meeting, right?
Right, yeah.
Right, that's why I gotta close this one out.
we're closing out.
We gotta come out of close session.
Okay, so seeing no further business of the board, I declare this special board meeting adjourned.
We gotta make a motion.
Objection, objection,
Before the regular board meeting, right?
I thought we made-
objection. We have to make that decision in this meeting.
Yeah.
Before we adjourn.
Okay.
Before we,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So you
Correct.
you have to do a roll call to adjourn now because I objected.
Gotta do it different.
That's right.
make a motion.
This motion. Okay. All right, like, I'd like to make a motion to allow administration to work with the UTM.
Speaking to the mic, please. Can't hear
We
you.
can't hear you.
My bad.
Thank you.
I would like to make a motion to allow the administration to work with the UTF on the settlement agreement.
Support.
Okay. Now, board members, as I call your name, please say, no, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, board members, I call your name, say yes or no. Treasurer Luna.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President McNeil.
Yes.
Myself, President Clack, vote yes. The motion passes 7-0. Okay. So now we adjourn. Okay, so now, do any board members have any more comments before we adjourn?
No.
Okay, seeing no further business of the board, I declare the special board meeting adjourned. Oh my God, we'll go, oh. All right, 6:41 p.m. Okay. Where's the script at? Okay, I would like to call the Flint Board of Education regular board meeting to order at 6:42 p.m. All right, board members, as I call your name, please reply present for the record. Treasurer Luna,
Present.
Trustee Rutherford,
Present.
Trustee King,
Present.
Vice President McNeil,
Present.
Assistant Secretary Treasurer McIntyre,
Present.
Secretary Perkins,
Present.
myself, President Clack is present. Okay. All right, I now call upon Secretary Perkins to read the district mission statement and first statement in the standards of practice.
It is the mission of the Flint School District to develop a community of learners who are prepared to live, work, and contribute in an ever-changing society. In order to provide outstanding leadership and better serve the Flint community schools, we, the members of the Flint Board of Education, commit to the following standards of practice. We will be consistent in our dealings with each other, as well as students, staff, and community.
We will model trustworthiness and honesty in our relationships with each other, with our superintendent, and with our constituents.
We will focus on a common goal of providing the best education possible for the student and the Flint Community Schools.
We will respect the diverse views that each of us bring to the organization, as well as the views of others that we interact with as we carry out the business of the Board of Education.
We will be open and authentic with each other, our staff, and community.
6, as we work to make decisions, we will focus on issues, not personalities.
Number 7, our decisions will be student-centered and based on objective facts.
We will practice good listening skills to better understand our fellow Board of Education members and constituents.
Okay, I seek a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the July 12th and July 19th Committee of the Whole Board meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, are there any corrections? Are there any corrections? Okay, seeing none, the motion to approve the minutes from the July 12th Board meeting, the Board Committee of the Whole meeting, and the July 19th, 2023 regular Board meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, say yes or no to approve the motion. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President McNeil.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Treasurer Luna.
Yes.
And myself, President Clark, I vote yes. The motion passes 7-0. Okay. The board will now hear comments from the public. We ask that you state the reason for addressing the board and that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes on matters within the authority of the board and not address individuals by name. The presiding officer of the board shall have the right to limit the number of persons who may address the board on the same subject. Please state your name and address before beginning to speak. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Please step forward.
I would first like to say I'm grateful for the action and relationships we've been able to build with this current iteration of the school board and the administration. In the past months, the administration has taken action to secure some of the 78 open doors of Central High School, the ones in particular that are most visible and were used for the arson attempt on the school earlier this year. I'm also incredibly grateful for the efforts of Treasurer Luna, who led a cleanup, debris, and other things that have been deposited around the school 2 weeks ago. Thank you. I would like to bring to your attention, though, as the only 24/7 stakeholders of these sites, some things you may not be aware of that concern us in terms of imminent health and safety. In particular, the central parking lot, which does not currently have any lights at night, has become a haven for racing, for donuts, and other activities, especially on the weekends. In particular, on July 4th, there were a series of individuals that shot multiple weapons, including AK-47s, into the school, several bullets of which missed the school and went to our neighbors' homes. This is a legitimate and serious concern that we have due to the continued issues with the properties and the lack of 24/7 security or lighting of any kind. As stakeholders, we recognize that this board has many visions for this site, and we would like to support that with our own ideas and opinions as tax holders and property owners in the city of Flint. And so I would like to make you aware that we are working with facilitation from the Neighborhood Engagement Hub over the next few months as a neighborhood to determine what we would like to see in the future of these properties. And we would come back and present those ideas to this board in hopes that we can work together trying to create a better community going forward. And I hope that this body and this administration will be receptive to both our desires and the needs of the residents of this area. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next.
Nadia Rodriguez, 1610 East Court Street. The first time I addressed this board was in the fall of 1990. Our teachers had taught us to speak up if we saw injustice. At 12, the rule of no shorts felt like an injustice. We were prepared, we were heard, and a thoughtful board made a decision. I've been to this podium many times since that day, but the last 5 years have left me with disappointment. I felt like I'd been given a gift when I came to teach in the district, in my district. I dreamed of having the chance to offer opportunities I was offered in my childhood. My excellent teachers, far too many to name, inspired my love of learning. I wanted nothing more than to offer that scaffolding to the youth of this city. While none of you occupied these seats when I arrived, I imagine you came knowing the history of mistakes and neglect inflicted on the district and our city. I've watched indecision time and time again lead to inaction. Inaction continues to put our students and staff last. Please finalize a plan to close buildings, sell vacant property that is a drain on resources, raise pay to attract and retain valuable staff, and direct hire support staff and all the others you've outsourced over the years. Monday, I heard a board member address City Council more passionately and informed than she has in the last 15 meetings for this board. Where's the energy like that for this district? My superintendent claims to have an open door policy, but has never responded to an email, phone call, or meeting request from me. Stop putting your personal agendas over the needs of this district. When a board member was striving for access and transparency for our families as it pertains to these meetings, you found every excuse to disregard that request. The debate that followed that decision that carried over to last week's meeting regarding RFPs was ridiculous. Disregarding paperwork in a district plagued with ethics concerns is negligent. I understand mistakes happen. I accidentally forgot it was Wednesday and missed last week's meeting. Would you mind scrapping this meeting and having that one over so I could have that opportunity? Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? I'm not getting any younger, but I know that the thinking, this is how we've always done it, is simply unacceptable. Yes, we carry the nostalgia of what we were. We come from greatness. We are Flintstones. But regardless of those mistakes or injustices, the world we currently live in is simply different. You have youth on this board, and those voices are beyond valuable. As an educator, when I hear the pompous voices belittle those who are trying to be forward-thinking and accountable, it sickens me. This is the model you're setting for our students you claim to be here to uplift. Well, I can no longer stand before you and state, Nadia Rodriguez, alumni, staff, and resident, I will always be a Flint Central graduate, and I will always be proud to call this city home. You treated me, my program, and my students as less valuable than the lockdown bucket I brought before you. I didn't resign because I don't care. I resigned because you broke my heart as you continue to let down our students while adding to the blight in our city. I may no longer be on your staff, but I will continue to hold you accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Oh.
I have flyers to pass out to the members, if it's okay, and business cards. Those are the flyers. The flyers is just to let you guys know who I am and where I come from and what I'm about. I made 9. Do I need more? I do have more. Does everybody have a flyer? Okay. 1499 Autumn Drive, Flint Township. My name is Linda Bell. I am the owner and founder of Ring a Bell for ASL. In my business and in our entity, we promote deaf awareness. Our vision for the Flint schools is to maintain mindfulness, also enhance cognitive ability, and also literacy. Through our program, I believe that we could make a difference and an impact in Flint community schools with our kids. Currently, I have kids coming to my program from Montessori, Flint Powers. I have people from Southwestern. I have students all the way from kindergarten to grade school. An executive summary, a brief executive summary about our program is that we can provide stimuli abilities such as health and wellness, literacy skills, math skills, and capabilities in cognitive development. American Sign Language uses all the senses. It's not a classroom where you sit down, pay attention, be quiet, and don't bother your neighbors. We're up, we're running, we're jumping, we're using our eyes, our hands, our ears, our touch, everything. That room will be pounding. The kids will think they're in gym, but they will have so much fun and so much excitement learning that it will enhance the low scores that they have right now. I was one of those students. My mother was deaf. They put me in a room that said I had low reading abilities. And it wasn't that the fact that I had low reading abilities, the teacher could not teach me because I was a kinesthetic learner. And with this program, I do believe we can make a difference. I proposed a budget to you guys last year. I'm back again this year. I'm not giving up on Flint schools. I've got Davison calling me, Flushing calling me, Grand Blanc calling me, but nobody from Flint schools, and I don't understand why. The proposed funding is with my deaf staff. I have to have an interpreter with my deaf staff. That's why the budget is the way it is. We have to have special equipment because I'm bringing in deaf teachers to work with our hearing students and our parents. We have to have translators. So consider those equipment very special to have. Our evaluation is based upon activity, participation, so every child is capable of learning, and we can take them to the next level. And I can also introduce interpreting skills to our high school students who have never thought about it. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board?
Good afternoon. Let me start off by saying nothing changed. Washington School should have been down by now. By you all voting against the bid last meeting, just my interpretation, I feel that that was almost like bid rigging, because you had two bids that wasn't open. And now everybody has seen the other contractor's bid. So now they know how to come back and bid on it again. If anything, you should have said, hey, you know what? I don't like this policy. After this bid right here, let's change this policy right here, or this letter, or this whatever it is, you know. After, it's sad that you have one individual talking about black companies, African-American companies, and that same individual got rid of a black company, which was Magic Johnson's company when they was serving food to the kids. They didn't have any problems. They worked like hell during COVID, extra. They did extra work. But these two individuals, including the person who say they want black companies, was hell-bent on getting rid of this black company. So which one is it? Do you want black companies or do you not want black companies? I don't understand it. Me, myself, I would reconsider that vote so that you will not be putting yourselves or the school board or administration or whoever in position for a lawsuit. I mean, that's what it's looking like, because somebody chose not to fill out that paperwork. Another member say, hey, you know what? I wasn't invited. That sounds like a spoiled kid. I wasn't invited to the bid openings, even though the information was out there and it was probably on the RFP. That's not a reason. Go read bid rigging. Go read about opening bids and everything else. Learn the law. Just like you have city council over there taking donations, $11,000 lawnmowers, donations. Then you have a member of the board asking that same company, come over here to the school district, I'll take some money too. Come on, man. Everybody in Flint seem like they on the take or something, man. Can we just do what's right? We got extra funds that has to be spent before next year. Mott getting ready to help Beecher with their high school. We had that opportunity and we messed it up. Man, don't send money back like the city of Flint been doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whitson. Is there anybody else that would like to address the board? Anyone else? Okay, thank you. At this time, I will turn the board over to Superintendent Jones for information regarding the shared services.
Okay. Before we do shared services, I'm going to just give you a couple of words for the communique, if you don't mind, board. So, just like to speak to the public a little bit about our first day of school and first week of school. The first day of school is always a significant milestone, marking both the end of the summer and a return to the classroom. This year, the energy and the enthusiasm and excitement that radiated from our scholars, families, teachers, and staff was excellent. The hallways echoed with laughter and the chatter of friends reconnecting. Not only that, community members being at the school, board members being present. A few of our board members were at all 11 buildings. Also reconnecting with our scholars from homes who transitioned over to Southwestern Academy for the school year. We are pleased with the scholars who have returned, but we also want to remind our families, if you have not returned to school, it is time to do so. We understand that Flint Community Schools start early, but we want to ensure that all of our scholars are getting a year's worth of instruction and education. We cannot stress enough the importance of getting the school year off on the right foot. So please do what you can to help spread this message to all of our staff that's been working very hard, our attendance agents, our enrollment department, our principals, and staff that's been supporting to ensure that all of our classrooms are filled. As a part of the 23-24 school year, we do have some exciting changes. I would like to point out the former principal of Accelerated Learning Academy, Ms. Kelly Fields, has been appointed as the district's executive director of academics. Kelly is an invaluable member of our team, as evidenced by both her work in our classrooms and as a leader for this district. We are deeply appreciative, Kelly, of your work and your unwavering leadership and guidance at ALA over the years. To our community, as she steps into her new role, her experience and her dedication to educational excellence will guide us, again, I say guide us, as we enhance our offerings academically. One final change in regarding our visitor policy, I'd like to ensure that all of our families and our community hear this announcement. All visitors are mandated to present proper identification before entry and going through our metal detectors, starting after intersession in September. Please plan accordingly when visiting any Flint Community School building. It's essential to understand the rationale behind these changes. In recent years, schools across the nation have faced challenges with contraband, including weapons, entering the buildings. While clear backpacks don't entirely eliminate the issue, they certainly act as a deterrent and ease the process of security checks, especially for our younger scholars. We genuinely appreciate the support and adaptability of our community, particularly as we navigate other major changes. Much is on the horizon for Flint Community Schools. Renovations are still ongoing. We're excited about the renovations at Potter Elementary School. We're excited about the renovations at Holmes and Brownell. And we'll continue this work until we have arrived to the future that we speak of. Thank you for your support in renovating, rebuilding, and re-energizing Flint Community Schools. And as always, our goal is our success. So moving on to our shared service. I seek a motion and a second. Let me get here. For Resolution 21.7, approval of the Shared Services Business Management Agreement for tonight.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve 21.7.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Treasurer Luna.
through you to Superintendent Jones, could you just give like a basic summary of what this will do for the public and us as well?
Sure. So we are entering into a shared service agreement for services. We're not entering into an agreement for a person. We are entering an agreement with the ISD for business office services as it pertains to a chief financial officer. And so with this, it gives us the opportunity to have a skilled individual to come in and work with our district for the next year to support. Not only does this person come with a skill set, but the ISD ensures that these services will be done for the district. And not only that, this person comes with the support of the Genesee Intermediate School District. And so this helps us to ensure that our books are right, that we are continuing to clean up any errors that we find or any findings and recommendations from our audit.
Can I add one more question too?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
So it says business manager and controller services. Would this mean, I guess in theory, we'd have a more robust staff that we had in the last year and a half when it comes to these, or no? I don't know.
So we're still working on we still have to have a controller, right? We're filling the position of CFO. The ISD is still working on the controller piece of it. And also, as we talked before, HR, right, as well. So, but it does give us the opportunity to have more support in this space, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a question? Anyone else? Okay, so seeing no further discussion, the motion to move
I'm sorry,
resolution.
I had a question. I apologize.
Okay. Sure.
I think we had asked for both Mr. Jones to come together with what we need, and then to see what GISD was going to do. What did you guys come up with? What we needed?
As far as positions, yes.
I guess as far as for the services.
Yes, we need a CFO, we need a controller, and also, do you want me to go on with other departments, or we just, okay. We need a CFO, we need a controller. It is proven, Mr. Jones, Mr. Brian Jones, who's on his almost last day.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was coming. We're gonna miss you, Mr. Jones, and we appreciate you. Oh. Okay. All right. Y'all want me to continue or y'all want me to pause? What are we doing here?
You might need to pause. Let some air get. Go ahead.
Okay, all right.
You okay?
I'm trying to be.
Okay, so let me get back to this work here. But Mr. Jones, as he stated in a previous board meeting, we are in need of a CFO. We are in need of a controller. We are in need of a director of HR. We are in need of, now we're, of course, as I told you, board, the recruiter position, we're working with the partnership agreement to get the recruiter position paid for, 21H funds, and the clerical staff for HR. So what we're asking for shared services is a CFO, which is before you tonight, a controller, a director of HR, and possibly a special education director. All right, possibly a special education director. All of this have been discussed with the ISD, Dr. Tunnicliffe, thank you for being here tonight, who's here. And I just want to say, this contract has been vetted by Troon. I do have Mr. Tim here just in case there was any questions, but it has been vetted by Troon to ensure that things were done properly.
Okay, to continue, where did this special ed director come from? It's the first I heard of it.
Okay, so we...
What's the purpose?
So we need a special education director. We are interviewing for our own special education director. So that's why I said possible if we're not able to...
Is this a new position?
No, it's not.
Who was in it before?
There was Ms. Lawrence was our special education director. You have met her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm recalling. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, and so that's a possible situation that
Okay.
may come up. We need to get, of course, you all know we have over almost 900 special education scholars, so we have no time to waste in that space.
Okay.
And the ISD has opened their arms to support us. We actually have a meeting tomorrow with their director to ensure that we're moving forward amicably in that space. So with that said, I hope I've answered your question.
You answered my question. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'll quickly add that, our district has been, tumultuous in moving positions. I mean, losing people, gaining people, losing people. This right here for me, I'm gonna call it a new hope for us to be able to attain a person with knowledge and also knowledge with GISD and the resources of GISD to help Flint move. Each step that we go, team, let's keep the people that we gonna get. I want us to be able to retain all the new employees that we get, make sure we're being fair, being respectful as we go through this process. GISD, this is a good partnership because we're not the only district. Let me say it again, I've been asked a couple of times, we're not the only district that do share services. Other districts like us, similar to us and around the county, do share services. So this would be a first step to trial basis to see what we like, what we don't like, work it out, and hopefully this can be a lasting partnership. So until we see Flint schools thrive into a greater height. Thanks.
Dr. Joyce.
Mr. Jones, as it relates to special education, and we know IEPs, are we on point? Are we lacking anywhere because of the lack of staff and service? And now are we okay in that area? Because that's one of the most important, not all important, but it's very crucial.
I'm going to say, Dr. Joyce, that we are bringing on staff all the time to ensure that we are compliant
Yes.
with our scholars' IEPs. We have the support of the ISD. You have already, as a board, approved virtual therapists, social workers, and that support has allowed us to have a better handle on the circumstances that we face. We are continuing to try to be as efficient as possible. I will not say to you that everything is perfect, because it's not, but we are doing our very best, and that's why we went with virtual supports as well. But I believe that if we can continue to work with our ISD, bring on the proper staff, that we will get there.
So we're going to get an A this year.
We're going to work on it.
We get that A. All right.
We're going to work on
thanks.
it.
Okay, anyone, Trustee Rutherford.
You replied, yeah.
Trustee Rutherford.
That's okay.
Okay, anyone else? All right, so seeing no further discussion, the motion to move Resolution 21.7, the approval of shared services business management agreement will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Assistant Secretary Treasurer McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President McNeil,
Yes.
Trustee King,
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Can you come back to me?
Okay. Treasurer Luna,
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Did we get, Trey?
Can you come back to me?
Did we get Trey?
This is it.
Yeah,
I need a second.
we done gave everybody.
What was the question?
We voting on it.
What was the vote?
The motion to approve the shared services.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll make this right.
you sure?
She's sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Myself, President Clack,
I didn't read it.
I'm gonna
I thought I saw, I didn't see it.
I'm gonna vote, I'm gonna abstain. So the motion passes by 6-0.
It's 6-0? 6, okay, all right.
President,
Yes, sir.
could you remind the board that some of us can't hear them in the mic, so just to speak into the mic?
Okay, so you're right. I'll do better.
All right, so, new business. Continuing on with the agenda, I now turn the floor over to Superintendent Jones for action items and information reports.
Okay. I don't know if I have that information. I don't have, where are you?
Where we at?
The agenda?
Where we
Action
at?
items.
No, we're not doing the presentation, right?
No.
Okay.
So,
We're just doing the action items.
you talking about? Oh, this one. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Okay, so what I want to make sure you all know, that's why we're kind of confused here. So the Center of Excellence, as I sent you an email earlier today, there's some information that came up that I want to make sure we take back to the academic subcommittee meeting to discuss as it pertains to safety after school that may incur a cost. So I want to make sure that we have cleared that information up before I bring it to the board as it is. So as it is, the presentation that was coming forth to you today was it was going to be clear, but there's a piece of it that I want to make sure that we explain in the academic subcommittee meeting, then bring back to the board for a special meeting so that we do this before the after-school program starts. Okay, so I wanted to kind of table that presentation. Yeah, yes.
No,
So, if I may, through the president to superintendent, I did have a couple of outstanding questions about the Foundation for Excellence that I would like to have addressed publicly.
Sure.
And this will be coming to the entire board.
Absolutely.
I would like to know, is this now a nonprofit or is it still under the fiduciary of the Community Foundation? And here we have community school directors, again, being outsourced, not through our district, and under the oversight of a democratically elected board, but through a nonprofit board that appoints its own trustees and its own board members. And so we've had this discussion before about bringing school community directors being under the purview of your supervision. You're the superintendent of the district, not a nonprofit organization. So I want to know how this happened again, like why this is like, we don't have the CRIM anymore, but this is like CRIM light. It's basically the same group of individuals just reshuffled and restructured under a new organization that's being created. So I'd also like to know when the nonprofit is scheduled to be established, because I know that they filed for paperwork. They don't want to be under the fiduciary of the Community Foundation. They're trying to be their own independent nonprofit. So again, I have to express with the strongest reservations about, again, having after-school programs, community school directors, completely under the purview of a nonprofit organization rather than being part of the Flint community school systems. I have severe misgivings about that. There's nothing wrong about what this program is doing or about the individuals attached to this program. Please don't misunderstand me. I am not making this as a direct attack on the organization or on the individuals, but what I am making a comment about is the fact that the previous board, and we've had open meetings where we have discussed bringing the Flint community school directors back into the Flint community schools, and this just seems like a smoke screen, just like a sleight of hand. We're playing cup balls on the table, and the same people are directing the community schools. Please just bear with me. I do have this written down. So there will be programs, research, and advocacy, again, all under a non-democratically elected nonprofit organization. From what I can see, I do want more information about the after-school programmings, who is running it, and who are all of it staffed by. There's talk of tracking underserved scholars, and I want to know who's in control and who's in charge of this data and what's going to be done with it. Again, not that I have any objection to the collection of data, but I just have concern over collecting data from our scholars in our schools and having it overseen by a nonprofit. There's also going to be, I apologize, there's going to be a parent collaborative. I want to know who's going to be on the parent collaborative team and who's going to choose them. There's also going to be a community council on education that's appointed by the trustees and by the nonprofit. I want to know who is going to be put onto this council and how they're going to be selected and how and what they're going to represent, because from what I can see, it's mostly business interests and not community interests. And the Network for School Excellence, who and what is that network? So I have a lot of questions, and I just wanted to make sure that they were stated in a public meeting for everyone to know, so that we do get these answers, because again, these are our schools. This is public schools, and this is just part of the process of subsuming public education under a quasi-private public partnership rather than a democratic partnership. So I am concerned about this. So I would really like to have another conversation about this and have these conversations answered. The final question that I have is how much in this nonprofit, we're not established if it's yet a nonprofit. I know that they're in the process of becoming one, but what percentage of the administrative costs, what percentage of all of the money that it raises and earns and all of its fund balance that it has goes to administrative costs? I would like to know that and to see if they're operating under best practices for a nonprofit. Thank you.
Would you please send that information to myself or Pam?
Okay.
Thank you. And we will have a meeting scheduled. I'll get with our chair, and then we can determine when that meeting is, and then we'll bring it to a special meeting, because you would want this answered on the floor. And we will have Dr. JaNel Jamerson come, him and his team, to come and answer questions.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
sure.
please reassure them, it's a friendly audience. We're trying to build partnership and collaboration and community.
Sure.
But
Sure.
we're trying to do our
Sure.
best. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So with that, Do we need to turn it over to the chairs for, I think we're good to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 1.2, Personnel Recommendations.
So moved.
Anybody go?
Is there a second?
No, second.
Any discussion?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Is there any discussion? Okay, it's been they're seeing there's no further discussion. The motion to approve Resolution 1.2, Personnel Recommendations to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I say your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Treasurer Luna.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
Vice President McNeil.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre.
Yes.
Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Who am I missing? Trustee King.
Yes.
And myself, President Clark, I vote yes. The motion passes 7-0.
Great. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 11.4, authorization to approve Potter Auditorium, a audiovisual project.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Point of order.
What's the point?
We should be in information, right? The next item on the agenda
It's governance.
is
The
information.
retirement, the 2.3, that's what you
Yeah,
asked?
2.3, yes.
I went there.
Yeah.
You know,
Number 2.
I thought all that was under one, okay.
1.2, 5.1.
You said 11.4. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
It's 2.3. Can they finish with that?
Just looking up mess.
It is. Mine skips to 5.1. Yeah. Okay. So is that?
Retirements and resignation.
No, we don't have it on our script.
Or we just don't have it. It's okay.
Okay, all right. So information, any questions about retirements or resignations? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to governance. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve action item 5.1, approval of Neola policies.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve action item 5 of Neola policies.
Is
Support.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President.
Treasurer Luna?
Yeah, as I said at the second reading last Wednesday, this policy hasn't been updated in many a years, and I think as we update it, make additions, removals, and improvements on a continual basis, it'll help make this board and this district operate better, so we avoid issues that come up that are not clearly stated as it relates to our policies, bylaws, bids, you name it. I think it's a big opportunity for us to work better and improve our function.
Any more discussion? Okay, seeing no more discussion, no further discussion, the motion to approve action item 5.1, the approval of Neola policies. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Treasurer Luna?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Abstain.
Okay. Vice President McNeil?
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee McNeil?
You got me.
I'm sorry, Vice President McNeil. I'm sorry.
Claudia Perkins.
Okay, I'm sorry. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Did I say Trustee McIntyre already?
Yeah, you
Yes.
got us. It's on the other side of the room.
Okay, and myself, no, I didn't say Trustee King.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, myself, President Clark, I vote yes. The motion passes 6 yeses, 1 abstention. Okay. Mr. Jones?
All right, finance and operations.
We moving along.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 11.1, authorization to purchase Microsoft 365 licenses renewal for 2023.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to batch 11.1, 11.4, 11.5.
Support.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any discussion? No discussion? All right, so, just vote on the batch, right?
Could you just restate the motion, Mr. President?
To batch.
So, the motion is to batch 11.1 and 11.4, 11.5.
Correct.
Okay, it's been properly supported. We're gonna conduct a roll call vote on the batch.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President McNeil.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Treasurer Luna.
Yes.
And myself, President Clark, vote yes. It passes 7-0.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve the batch items.
Yeah,
Support.
stand support. Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, we'll conduct a roll call vote on the batched items. As I say your name, please say yes or no to approve the motion. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President McNeil.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Treasurer Luna.
Yes.
Myself, President Clark, yes. Vote passes, the motion passes 7-0. So we'll go to 11.4, 11.5. Okay, Mr. Jones, it's what, 25.4?
Well, 12.4. Any questions, board members, on 12.4 check registry, July 2023?
I don't have that one. Oh, okay. Did you raise your hand, Trustee McIntyre?
I have a question.
You have to, Trustee McIntyre.
Oh, okay, whoever. Okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Mr. Jones, this might be for you, sir.
Go ahead, Melody, go ahead, because I'm
I
struggling.
want you to
through
go. I'm just kidding. You guys, on page 33, and it's just for me, my understanding, just because it's just so large. Middle City, what does that consist of? Just the overall cost of it for the year, Mr. Jones?
Page
They do
33.
Mission school,
everything.
like vocational?
Middle
No.
City.
Middle City. Yeah.
Yeah,
Page 6 of
risk management.
6, risk management, is that what it is? Yeah. Why is that so large?
So we paid, you might want to help with that. Middle Cities, and Middle Cities is our insurance, risk management,
They do everything.
yeah. And it could have been a large payment for a certain amount of months, but we do pay them regularly. I don't know exactly, Mr. Jones.
I've never seen that amount that large. You'll take a look at it?
Yeah.
I had one more. Are we still giving water, buying water, purchasing water?
We're currently not purchasing bottled water. However, there was a building today that reached out to us because one of their filtration systems wasn't working. So in cases like that, where you have a school that something may happen to the filtration system that we found out, like actually at the end of the day today, if it's something that can be fixed right away, we need to provide them water to ensure that they have clean drinking water. Okay? So our plan would consist of getting in touch with Dr. Sullivan, working with our operations department to ensure we know what's wrong with it, try to get it fixed right away. But if there is an issue to where we don't have access to our filtration systems, we will have to supply water. So no, we're currently not supplying water to our schools on a regular basis.
Okay, also on page 3 of 6, Cumberland Therapy, what's that?
The therapy.
What did you say?
Some type of therapy. Did I say that right, you guys?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Cumberland Therapy.
Special education services.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who provides that?
That's,
Okay, I guess this is why, because I see all this down here. Is this
Yeah.
part of the boot camp or something?
Page 3, that
are you
therapy.
talking about up here?
Right here.
Cumberland Therapy?
Yeah, but I see, yeah. So
That's
this go with
special
this?
ed and everything.
So
we need.
curriculum boot camp
It's
is,
different than this.
that's different.
Okay, so
That's
what
the
is
work
the-
we're doing around the curriculum.
Okay, so what is this, Cumberland Therapy?
Cumberland is the work that we're doing with special education. We're paying for virtual teachers and also virtual therapists to work with our special education scholars.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes.
I'm good, thank you.
On page 2 of 6, what's the 21,000 to the City of Flint treasurer?
Is it 3 or 6,
Yep.
is it 11?
2 of 6.
2 of 6, okay.
Oh,
Almost at the bottom.
oh, by Bartex.
Yes, right above Bartex.
The treasurer, City of Flint,
You said 2 of 6, right?
2 of 6, yes.
It's the second page at the bottom.
Oh, okay, treasury, let's see.
There's another one for the treasurer, too.
I remember what they used to say that was for. Can't remember them.
Is that water? Okay, he's gonna check on these, and then you'll get this back to me, and I'll give it to the board members. Okay.
7 National.
Any other board members that you have questions on?
Mr. President,
Trustee Rutherford?
my thought is like in the future, like these huge numbers, kind of like have an explanation, you know, maybe have like a little sheet on the top for like huge numbers like this, almost, you know, close to $250,000. It's not right there, but it's close enough. To just have an explanation, that way we won't have to ask a question.
Mr. President,
Treasurer Luna?
through you to Mr. Jones, and it may be easier, this is from a spreadsheet, right? An Excel sheet?
Yeah, and it may be better if we'll definitely consider what you just said, Trustee Mel, but it'd probably be better if we could know in advance about these, and then we could, if you have the opportunity, but if not,
Oh, okay.
if they emailed in to us, I can get it back to you within 24 to 48 hours.
And that makes sense. I was just gonna say,
Because
like,
it's not something we can't explain. I just can't tell you about all of these
Yeah.
different checks that we've cut in the last month right here.
I was
But
just
we
gonna
will
say,
get it to you.
if it was in the spreadsheet, you could do like a tool to put the top cost at the top and kind of go from largest expense to smallest, but
Yeah,
y'all got it, so.
we'll get the information to you, though. Okay, do we move on, or we need a little bit more time?
I have one more I'm sorry, Mr. President. On
Trustee Rutherford.
2 of 6, just the shingles, just the, I think this is Fedora Ryder, the penthouse roof, 34,000. What is that? They got some more roof done? Was that part of that special meeting we had? What is
The
this?
shingles we pay,
Yes,
the shingles at Doyle Ryder that we paid for, was that a part of what they approved before?
oh, you can't hear me?
The shingles cost. There's a shingles
You
cost
can't hear me? Oh,
from
okay,
Doyle
sorry.
Ryder that she's asking about.
So shingles at Doyle Ryder, that is a hard-covered roof, so I'm trying to determine, oh, that's at the penthouse, okay.
Yeah, the
That's
penthouse
the
roof.
metal siding on the side. That was approved by the board, yes. That's the metal coming down the side of the building in the vertical.
Is that when we had that leak?
Yes,
In that
ma'am.
special meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did I think that was like 10,000? Oh, that was a part, that 10 was additional. Okay, thank you. Makes sense. I
You're
get it.
welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, we are moving to academics. I seek a motion in a second. Well, let me stop. Is there, I think it's just one, right?
Yes.
We only
just
have one. Okay, I seek a motion in a second from the board to approve Resolution 25.4, authorization to purchase grades K-12 visual arts curriculum, RFP 24-001.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Any discussion? All right, seeing there's no discussion, the motion to approve, we'll be on 25.4, the authorization to purchase grades K through 12 visual arts curriculum, RFP, will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Assistant Secretary Treasurer McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President McNeil,
Yes.
Trustee King,
Yes.
Treasurer Luna,
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford,
Yes.
and myself, President Clark, votes yes. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you, Superintendent Jones. Okay, do any board members have any remarks or comments before we?
Mr. President.
Treasurer Luna.
Okay, so two things. I want to remind the public that tomorrow there is a workshop on right sizing with Plant Moran Crust at 5:30 at this building, right? At ALA. So again, 5:30 tomorrow, there'll be a board workshop on right sizing the district at 5:30 at ALA. And then two comments as relates to that. I think oftentimes when it comes to school closures and the sale and lease of vacant properties, there's oftentimes people think that data-driven and being community-driven can't be in the same boat, or that they're mutually exclusive, and we can do both by keeping data-driven decisions, but also keeping the community in mind, so I think we can do that. And then in the same kind of vein, I would just say, I think this board is ready to make a decision. It's long overdue, and every decision we make is going to affect the neighborhood community, but just because if we do decide to close a school institution, it doesn't mean that the property has to become derelict and vacant and just an issue in that neighborhood. We can still close the institution while keeping the building viable, whether it be a community center, senior housing, a demolition, but we can still be responsibly doing this as we move forward. So those are my comments.
Okay, Secretary Perkins.
Yes, I've had several community leaders in very high-profile positions talking about, obtaining some of the schools if we decide to right size when we close them. So that is a great possibility. Also, I want to just commend our leader, Superintendent Jones. He did a marvelous job when we all came together and went to all the schools on the first day of school. And the children received us well, and the staff was really overwhelmed to see us there in full force, pretty much. So I just want to commend him on that.
Thank you.
Okay,
And,
Vice President McNeil.
Mr. President, to Ms. Beard, do you know the dates, to remind the boards of the dates that we have next week as well? Do we have training and workshop? Do you have those dates? If you don't mind. I think Monday, go ahead. Putting it in your calendar. And we have one more board assessment that needs to be done. So we can verify it. I'm not saying no. I know.
Monday, August 21st
August 21st.
is your board workshop, board self-assessment with MASB. And on the 23rd is your board workshop for Neola policy. And
So-
that one, you guys are going to go over the bylaws. So that one is very important.
So are we going to be here, or are we going back to administration building for both of these?
Administration building for both,
Okay.
unless you all want to change it.
No, because we got everything over there. Okay. That's it for me.
Okay,
We out of here. Lord, have mercy.
Am I on?
7:41.
I know Trustee Rutherford has said that she wanted to speak, but I do want to share my comments. This is another meeting where we had civil conversation, professional disagreements at times. We're moving in the right direction. I am proud to say that our board is performing for our school community and our scholars inside the schools. Again, to the parents, thank you for trusting Flint Community Schools with your children as we, look beyond to new heights. Board, let's continue working together, continue making those strides together so we can become a better district than what we previously were. Also, I would like to say, Mr. Jones, CFO Jones, thank you for all your hard work that you've been doing inside of our district. We appreciate you. We was hoping you could stay for 30 more days.
Me too.
Yeah, we know. We ain't gonna go.
Boy, that's what you call sweet, that's what you call sweeter than
Y'all don't
honeycomb.
be, y'all don't be holding them up, do you? Mr. Jones?
You better watch that cone and that honey.
If you receive an email from somebody, I'm just saying somebody else. But yeah, you know, board, I'm excited to see the work that's going to be coming before us and how we move our district forward into like greater heights. I'm proud to be a part of this board. You know, as we move forward, as we go through the board of self-assessment, we're doing work, you know, doing board work as we're supposed to. So thanks.
Trustee Rutherford.
Mr. President, thank you. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for a great closed session meeting. I thought it was very, very good.
Thank you.
Dialogue, both ways, listening and also communicating. I want to thank Treasurer Luna for his cleanup efforts in the, for our properties. I think we as a board, we need to really, really step up and be responsible for everything that we're responsible for. And every neighborhood deserves to have a building. If a school is in there, in their neighborhood, they deserve to have the grass cut and the building secured. If we have to board it up every other week, so be it, because they deserve that. I say the same thing for Northern. You know, we had a lot of people, they've been cleaning up for the last month at Northern. After Treasurer Luna started it, Mr. Daryl Campbell has pretty much been coming out of his pocket to make sure that a lot of the young people, which have been doing a phenomenal job, but also, I don't know if you all saw, there was a video of kids on top of Northern in broad daylight, 5 of them. Yes, and they just walking up there. It's as if that's their home. And then some individuals, property, they were looking for property or what have you, they walked through Northern completely, all the way up to the 3rd floor. Walked all the way through the building and picked up some paraphernalia. I can't tell you what it was because I wasn't sure. But what I'm just saying is, as a board, we have to do better. We have to, you guys. We must do better by protecting our properties. I would ask that we look into those, I don't know the proper title, but those big bricks or that they use on the highway when they're doing,
You can't do those.
no, to cut, no, they do them all the time to stop people's center blocks or something like that.
To stop people from driving in there?
Yeah.
We can't do those. We already asked about that.
Say that one more time.
We can't do those. Because
So there's no way we can secure.
we can, if we put those out, it was, if someone, let's say, putting Northern caught fire, that would prevent the fire department from being able to get in and put the fire. I asked about that when we first got on the board.
Okay, well, I'm just asking that we come up with some way of
Yeah.
securing our property. And also, I want to really just publicly say thank you to Superintendent Jones. He was really helpful because Northern is not cleaned up. It was just a gap, you guys. And he stepped up there was a lot of debris where all the trees were cut down that had been left up to the school since the first cleanup. And then also I don't know if you're familiar with Northern, but the cafeteria, all those windows were broken out where individuals just walk in. So from my understanding, the lower windows must be boarded up for safety or reasons or what
today.
have you. So he was very instrumental in getting that done. However, the individuals that are up there cleaning up, now they're saying nothing has been done. So I'm just asking that we all do our part to make sure that we're doing the best with our properties. So, Superintendent Jones, you didn't hear me, but I just was telling you thank you for your assistance in getting that done. And also, I want to circle back to the Dr. JaNel Jamerson. Him and Ms. Carey came to the academic subcommittee, and a lot of your questions that you have, Dr. McIntyre, will be answered. There is a lot of dialogue between Flint schools and the individuals that will be doing the work. The community school directors, they have been in the district since, I want to say 2015, and a lot of them, the kids know them. And if we're not in the position as a district to bring them in-house, my preference is that they be able to be here. And with this, with this presentation that I was privy to, and the conversation, the hard conversations that took place, they're prepared to answer those questions. And as it relates to the data is just demographics as it relates to what's in synergy. And also the students' information is protected, as we all know. But the individuals have integrity that are going to be working with our students. And I like what I saw, and also they're working very close with the leadership of the building, and they are actually preparing what they're doing based on the needs of the students. So I just really wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
Okay, Trustee McIntyre?
Yes, thank you, Superintendent Jones, again, for a wonderful beginning to what I hope is a beautiful school year, and to everybody's efforts with the opening schools and going and supporting the kids and the scholars, the parents, and the staff. And shout out to Treasurer Luna for spearheading the cleanup. It's really nice and enthusiastic to see groups coming together, because these are our schools. This is our school district. This is our public school district. And so it's nice to see the public taking responsibility and ownership, and everyone coming together. And it's really gratifying to see that. It's kind of like, you know, what I remember doing, you know, in the 70s, like doing some of the cleanups, building the playgrounds, those kind of things. So thank you. And to Mr. Brian Jones, thank you for not only the work that you were brought in to do, but just your heart and your commitment, because, you know, you can sign on a dotted line and add numbers and everything like that, but you brought more to the table, and we're going to be really sorry to see you go. It would have been nice to extend your services. I know you said to, you know, pick up the phone if we need like a consultation, but, you know, we really need more people with heart who actually really care doing this work, and who are so professional and so competent. So thank you for that, and thank you to my board. Thank you.
Secretary Perkins.
Yes, and also I forgot, Trustee Luna and Dr. McNeil and myself, we attended the Flint Public Library. And Dr. McNeil and Treasurer Luna, and we gave a really top-notch overview of the school board and what we were doing, and people really received it well. And I just wanted to give kudos to them, because the team was there. And also Mr. Brian Jones. Right. We're so sad to see you go. But anyway, a job well done.
They moved out the way.
Get out the way, Melody. I do want to say something.
Is that it?
Finished?
Are you done? You get it all out?
I got it out.
You know, this is the last day. You got it all out?
I got it out.
Okay, so, you already?
Yeah, just want to say something. In regards to the academic subcommittee meeting that we had, it was very well organized, a lot of good information, a lot of questions that Trustee McIntyre had answered was addressed. But I also want to thank Ms. Kelly, because we have been talking about dual enrollment, and she has started, Ms. McIntyre, that initiative to work towards that process as well. And hopefully when the organization get here, you can ask those questions. It was very detailed, and you can ask those questions and hear for yourself. That's one thing about subcommittee meetings. You don't get a chance to board, but they will be here to do the presentation. And Ms. Phil, I want to thank you for taking that initiative, because we've been talking about dual enrollment, those programs, and that you're looking into doing something about it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, just to clarify, just to follow up, you know, Trustee Relaford, it's like you said, when you ask questions, you already know the answers.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask them publicly so that they're out there, because I know very well what this organization is about and what it's doing, and I want to ensure that our public schools stay public. And like I said before, and I don't think that this really needs to bear repeating, but it sounds like it does, we need to bring our community school directors back into the community schools, not overseen by an overseer who's a nonprofit organization that appoints its own trustees, and there isn't democratically community elected oversight. So that's very disturbing to me. So you're welcome to partner with the school, but be our partners. Be our partners. And we're really trying to bring things back in-house. Community school directors should be under the superintendent and under the jurisdiction of the board, not corporations and trustees who are appointed by the nonprofit industrial complex. Thank you.
Really quickly, Mr. President, I'm sorry. I know we're getting out early tonight.
I ain't get my turn
Just wanna
yet
say-
either.
I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Henderson too, because he's been really busy with the requests we have and then making sure we have materials for the cleanups and also just the renovations that we've been really been doing as a district. So I want to give him a shout out as well.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Okay.
And congratulations, Kelly. I forgot to. Thank you. Thank you.
Is that everybody?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll wrap up. I'll use this time to wrap up. First, I want to give a moment of silence and a prayer for the life of Petey Green, a former Flint teacher at Northern High School of 30-plus years. She's a DJ on Saginaw Radio 107.FM and a longtime member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. 30-plus years, and I would like to offer prayer for her family.
Also Josephine Haney, who was renowned in the city of Flint in the gospel arena.
Okay. All right. I would also like, since this is, I would like to give a shout out to the home staff for the first day of school program that they had over there, that Ms. Moore, Doyle Ryder was there with Dr. Coleman. I was able to visit Freeman School and DTM. Ms. Christian, I see you in the back. I'm going to make it over there to see you guys this week. So I would like to give a shout out to the staff over at Freeman, because they have an unbelievable environment over there. I mean, I was blown away with when I walked in the door, and first off, the security guards did exactly what they were supposed to do. You know, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. So there's no complaints with that. But I was escorted around the school. Every classroom I walked into, the students were actively engaged with the teacher. The teachers were showing that they had loving spirits and they cared about the students. It was visible. They didn't have to say, "I love these kids." You could see it. You could feel it. It was in the environment. It was in the air. I really want to give a big shout out to them, especially over at DTM as well. I went over to DTM and spent a long time over there. I forgot how big that school was. That school is huge. And I remember when you talking about those ramps, you get a leg workout going up over there. But I also would like to, in addition to Treasurer Luna's shout out for the cleanups, we cannot forget about Harletta Martin, who's over at, who was in charge of some of those cleanups and putting together some of the people. I'm not sure of everyone's name, but everyone who was involved in those northern and central cleanups, big shout out to you all. And before I go, we had a great meeting today. But I would feel like I wasn't doing my due diligence if I didn't express my discomfort with our redoing the bidding process. Now, with no disrespect to anyone, this is just my concern. All right, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. This is just my own personal concern. I really think that we should have kept going with what we were doing. And that's just my honest to God opinion. I think that it's possible that we have put ourselves possibly into some type of litigation. And I think as fiduciaries of the district, I think that we really need to, next time moving forward, we need to rethink what we're doing before we do it. So with that being said, I just had to get that off my chest. We had a great meeting. Everybody, let's go eat some cake. And
Is there cake?
yes,
Yeah, you got to eat your cake?
yes,
And
and
someone brought Mr. Jones a cake.
oh my God.
Not this Mr. Jones that's sitting at this table, but a different Mr. Jones. Just wanted to say that on the record.
Them up, are you? Mr. Jones, you can't go nowhere, man. Okay, so with that being said, I call this meeting to close at 7:57 p.m. Thank you. 7:57. 7:57.